Greetings, financial enthusiasts and savvy investors. Welcome to InvestorWeb, your reliable guide to the world of finance. Our mission, to simplify complex financial concepts and make them accessible to you. Today we're shedding light on a topic that's often misunderstood, the unexpected benefits of inflation. So, whether you're a seasoned investor or a curious beginner, you're in the right place. Stay tuned as we delve into the often misunderstood topic of inflation. Benefit number one, debt relief. Picture this scenario: you're a borrower and you've taken out a loan. Now, over time, as inflation rises, the real value of that debt decreases. How does this work? Well, when the value of money falls, the same amount of money is worth less than before. This means that the actual value of your debt is reduced. For instance, let's say you borrowed £1,000. As inflation rises, the purchasing power of that £1,000 declines. So, when you repay your debt, you're essentially paying back less than what you initially borrowed. This could be particularly advantageous for those with long-term loans such as mortgages. In a world where inflation is on the rise, you might find yourself effectively paying back less than you borrowed. Inflation, in this case, can be a debtor's best friend. Moving on to the second benefit, economic stimulus. Inflation, in its moderate form, can act as a catalyst, stimulating economic activity. It's like a shot of caffeine in the economy's morning routine. But how exactly does that work, you ask? Well, when the prices of goods and services increase, individuals and businesses alike are more likely to spend their money rather than hold on to it. This is because the value of money decreases with inflation, making it more costly to hold on to cash. Now, in this scenario, businesses are incentivized to invest, as holding on to money would ultimately result in a loss due to the diminishing value of cash. This increased spending and investment can lead to economic growth as businesses expand, create jobs, and contribute to overall economic activity. So you see, inflation can encourage a spending spree, which in turn fires up the wheels of the economy. In moderation, inflation can be the spark that fires up an economy. Benefit number three, increased employment. Now let's delve into how inflation can serve as a catalyst for job growth. You see, when prices rise, companies often find themselves in a position where they need to produce more to meet the growing demand. This increase in production levels can lead to the creation of more jobs, as companies need additional hands on deck to manage the increased workload. Inflation can also stimulate economic activity to a certain extent. When consumers expect prices to rise in the future, they're more likely to spend their money now, further driving demand for goods and services. This demand, in turn, can motivate companies to hire more employees to meet the growing needs of their customer base. Of course, it's a delicate balancing act. Too much inflation can have detrimental effects, but when managed well, it can indeed contribute to job growth. So, in a nutshell, inflation can sometimes be the catalyst for job creation. Fourth benefit on our list, government revenue boost. Now, you might be wondering how inflation could possibly be of any advantage to the government's purse. Here's the deal. As prices rise, the government's tax revenue can also increase. This is because the amount of tax collected is typically a percentage of the value of the goods or services being taxed. So let's say, for instance, the price of a car goes up due to inflation. Even if the sales tax rate remains the same, the government will earn more from the tax on that car simply because the car's price is higher. The same principle applies across the board, from income tax to property tax and even corporate tax. In essence, inflation can lead to a surge in the government's tax revenue without any need for an increase in tax rates. So inflation, in some cases, can give the government's coffers a needed boost. Benefit number five, encourages innovation and development. When inflation hits, businesses are often nudged out of their comfort zones. The rising costs of materials, labor, and other operational expenses ignite a spark of creativity and resourcefulness. The quest for efficiency and cost-effectiveness leads to innovation, with companies developing novel products and services to stay competitive. Think about it like a race where the pace is set by inflation. Those who can keep up, or better yet, get ahead, are the ones who come up with ingenious solutions and game-changing ideas. This dynamic environment can lead to groundbreaking advancements in technology, process improvements, and the birth of entirely new industries. So rather than viewing inflation as a mere financial challenge, it can be seen as a catalyst for evolution and progress in the business world. Inflation can drive businesses to innovate, fostering economic growth. Let's quickly recap the remaining benefits. First off, inflation can discourage hoarding. When prices are expected to rise, consumers are more likely to spend their money now rather than hoarding it, stimulating economic activity. Next, inflation can also enhance international competitiveness. When a country's currency depreciates due to inflation, its goods and services become cheaper in the global market, which can boost exports and stimulate economic growth. Thirdly, inflation is a protective shield against deflation. Deflation, or a general decrease in prices, can be harmful to an economy. It can lead to reduced economic activity as consumers delay purchases in anticipation of further price drops. Further, inflation can stimulate asset prices. As the general price level rises, the prices of assets like real estate and stock also tend to increase. This can generate wealth for asset holders, creating a positive wealth effect that can stimulate spending. Lastly, inflation can provide a psychological boost. When people see their nominal wages rising, they often feel wealthier, and this can lead to increased spending, further stimulating the economy. It's important to remember that while inflation has these potential benefits, it must be kept under control. Excessive inflation can be harmful, leading to uncertainty and instability, but when managed well, it can be a useful tool for promoting economic growth and stability. There you have it. Unexpected benefits of inflation. Inflation, often seen as a financial villain, can indeed have its silver linings. This seemingly adverse economic phenomenon can often work in mysterious ways to bring about unexpected benefits. Let's take a brief journey back through the points we've covered today. Firstly, we discussed how inflation can provide a sort of relief for debtors. As prices increase, the real value of money decreases, thus reducing the burden of repayment. Secondly, we delved into how inflation can act as an economic stimulus. It encourages spending and investment, as people are more inclined to use their money rather than hold on to it and watch its value decrease. Thirdly, we explored the concept of increased employment. As businesses strive to meet the increased demand generated by inflation, they often need to hire more staff, leading to lower unemployment rates. Fourthly, we discussed the boost in government revenue. With inflation, the government can reap more tax income without raising tax rates, as people's nominal income rises. Fifthly, we touched upon how inflation encourages innovation and development. It pushes businesses to improve efficiency and productivity to keep up with rising costs. In essence, inflation can be a catalyst for progress. However, let's not forget that the effects of inflation can vary greatly, and it's crucial to understand both its potential benefits and drawbacks. While it may stimulate economic activity, unchecked inflation can lead to severe economic problems. Therefore, it's essential to keep a balanced perspective. In summary, inflation, the alleged financial villain, can sometimes be a hero in disguise. It's crucial to remember that, like all economic phenomena, inflation has its ups and downs. The key is to understand these dynamics and make informed decisions. Thank you for joining us on Investor Web. We hope you gained some valuable insights from today's discussion on the unexpected benefits of inflation. To stay updated with more such enlightening content, don't forget to hit the subscribe button. Until next time, remember, knowledge is the best investment, so keep investing wisely.